Abraham and his wife Sarah had been married for many years, yet their home was silent with no children's laughter. They had moved to the land of Canaan because God had promised Abraham that his descendants would be as countless as the stars in the sky. But the years kept passing, and Sarah's arms remained empty. Sarah often sat and thought about it. She longed to be a mother. She had prayed, she had waited, and she had hoped. But now she was growing older, and it seemed impossible. One day, with a heavy sigh, she went to Abraham and said, Abraham, the Lord had kept me from having children, but maybe there is another way. Take my servant, Hagar, the Egyptian, marry her, and maybe I can have a child through her. Abraham loved Sarah deeply, and though he hesitated, he agreed. He trusted her judgment, and he also longed for a child. So Hagar became his wife, and before long she was expecting a baby. At first, Sarah thought she would feel relief, but something changed in Hagar's heart. When Hagar realized she was carrying Abraham's child, her attitude towards Sarah shifted. She began to look at Sarah with pride, almost as if she were saying, I have what you do not. I carry the hair. Sarah felt the sting of those looks. Her heart grew heavy with hurt and jealousy. She went to Abraham in frustration. This is your fault. I gave you my maid, and now that she is pregnant, she looks down on me. The Lord will judge between you and me. Abraham tried to calm her. Sarah, she is your servant. Do whatever you think is best, Abraham said. So Sarah began to treat Hagar harshly. The once warm home grew cold, and Hagar felt pushed out, unwanted, and mistreated. Finally, unable to bear it any longer, she fled into the wilderness, alone and afraid. She walked until she could no longer go on. In the desert, by a spring of water, along the road to shore, she sat down weary and broken. Tears filled her eyes. She had no plan, no hope. Where could she go carrying a child in her womb with no one to look after her? But in that moment of despair, the Lord saw her. An angel of the Lord appeared and called her by name. Hagar, servant of Sarah, where have you come from, and where are you going? Through her tears, she answered honestly, I am running away from my mistress, Sarah. The angel's voice was gentle but firm. Return to her. Go back and submit to her authority. Hagar must have lowered her head, uncertain and afraid. But the angel continued with words that lit a spark of hope in her heart. I will give you more descendants than you can count. You are now pregnant, and you will give birth to a son. You are to name him Ishmael, which means God hears. For the Lord has heard your cries of distress. He will be strong and wild, living freely, and though he will struggle against others, he will live near his family. Hagar's eyes widened. God had seen her. God had heard her cries. She whispered, almost in awe, You are the God who sees me. I have truly seen the one who looks after me. From that day, the springs where she met God was called Belai, the well of the living one who sees me. It stood as a reminder that even in the wilderness, God does not overlook the forgotten. Hagar returned, carrying with her the promise of God. In time, she gave birth to a son. Abraham, who was 86 years old by then, named him Ishmael, just as the angel had said. Though Ishmael was not the child of promise God had spoken of, he was still part of Abraham's story, a living testimony that God sees the broken. He hears the cries of the hurting and cares for those who feel unseen. Praise be to the Lord.